productive brain, flow state, meditation. Let's talk about those things, and especially how do we get into the flow state. First, let's demystify the flow state a bit, because 100% sure you have experienced it few times or many times in your life. When you are fully engaged into what you are doing, you are fully immersed in it, you don't even sense or experience the surroundings. Time kind of loses its relevance. 2 hours goes like this. You feel like you are in this almost like a tunnel movement forward. Everything makes sense. You don't see problems, not because you became naive all of a sudden, but you see solutions. This is really how we perceive things on the level of brain. So what happens in our brain when we are multitasking and not focused, when we are running after distractions, is eventually we go to high beta waves, which is stress. Stress makes our brain and body incoherent, and we cannot think clearly. We think of many things at once. We don't connect things. It's hard to make decisions and so on, because those parts of the brain become quite inactive. What about when we are focused and in flow state? Well, the brain realizes that this thing that we are now doing is so important that for some time we can shut off all the information coming from the environment. We don't need to have the sense of time, because what we are right now doing is the most important. So brain becomes fully lit up. It's really easy to connect things. It's easy to see solutions. It's easy to think creatively. So that's an amazing thing. And how do we get into that state? Well, we could say the holy trinity of flow is vision, clarity, and disciplined focus. And how do we then work with these things? So when we meditate enough, our mind becomes stable, then we can observe ourselves, have insights in ourselves, and eventually becomes way more easier to feel what is truly important to me. And when we act from what is important to me, that's vision. We have a lot of energy to do things. Then we have clarity. So clarity of when we know what is important, then we can visualize, we can plan, we can clearly think how to do things and what to do. So energy to do things, knowing how to do them, and know what to do exactly. Those two support focus, obviously, because we don't need to figure things out. And still, regardless of this, there needs to be some discipline. So when your mind is trained, still, when you open the computer and do the things that are important for you to do, still there are things, distractions, instant gratification. What if you go to Facebook? What if you look into this? What if you do that? All these suggestions are coming from the brain. But as you're focused on doing what is truly important to your life, eventually the brain will go, right, this is actually important. Let's switch off these things and give our whole power to this task. And that's an amazing experience. And not just amazing experience, because just think about it, like meditation leads to focus, focus leads to flow, flow results into productivity, productivity results into many things, self-respect, inner peace, and results. So I would say it's certainly worth investing into meditation, because it kind of works as a seed of productivity. Hopefully this